Hi, this is the demo of the web client for FarmTrace and PantherChain. What we see here is the code that accomplishes posting data to PantherChain. We set the user ID for the product as 12000. In fact, this could be any string, as you can realize. This is actually scanned from the QR code and retrieved. So what I will show here is the functionality of the farmer, the shipper, the aggregator, retailer, and the track. In fact, this application can be split into a separate application for each of these components of the supply chain. However, I will show you one aggregated view for ease of understanding. Okay, so where the same product is taken through all of these phases. Okay, so what data enters inside the blockchain is seen here. So this JSON data with respect to the farmer. You have the farmer's name, you have the user UID, which is a unique identifier for the product, the role of this particular individual on the supply chain, the product, the quantity of the product, rights, etc. Similarly, I have data with respect to the shipper. The shipper is FedEx My Brand. The UID pertains to the same UID of the product. I have the data for the aggregator. The aggregator here is United Lever. The UID is $UID. And finally, I have the retailer. The retailer's name is Publix, and the UID is the UID of the same product. So this product goes through these 4 stages in our demo. Okay. Next, I will show you the demo for our PantherChain. And so this is the FarmTrace client. I have a farmer here who basically enters the data into the remote server, which is a blockchain. So here I have the blockchain. I can see all the blocks in the blockchain, etc. I have the home screen. I can look at the mine transactions. And what we see here is the data which was in JSON that was sent here as a web service. I select this transaction, which is a JSON transaction, and then I mine the selected transaction into the blockchain. I go back to the FarmTrace web client. I do the same action for the shipper, the aggregator, and the retailer. At this time, I come back to the blockchain, and I see all the 3 details here. I have the shipper's name, which is FedEx My Brand. I have the aggregator's name and the Publix name. Each of them is showing here as separate transactions. I select these transactions into the selected transactions, and then I mine the selected transactions onto the blockchain. So what I see here is all these transactions are entered into the blockchain in the corresponding order at which they were created as well. Now let's go back to the FarmTrace web client. Here I want to track this package. I track what happened to this package, or what are the stages of this of the flow in the supply chain. I click on track, and it gets me the entire set of JSON structures of the entire supply chain. So if I were building a very complex client, I could actually have parsed each section to validate the signature of each of these JSON fields, but for ease of use or consumption, I just use only the web client, and I see this. So here I see the tracking details of the package. I see the farmer's role. I see the farmer's name here is Leslie Brand. Then I have the shipper is FedEx My Brand. I have the aggregator, United Lever, and finally I have the retailer, which is Publix, that is seen here.